Hey FlossTube, it's me, Hannah the Okie Stitcher here with another FlossTube update. Okay, so I haven't been giving a whole lot of life updates the last couple of videos, and you could probably tell by the background that I am in like a hotel situation, and that is because for the last 13 plus some days, 13 weeks plus, what am I saying? For the last 13 weeks plus some days, I have been living in a hotel room. Granted, this is a fairly nice hotel room. Like, it has a burner, it's like a stovetop burner. It's got a dishwasher, it's got a microwave, and it's got a coffee pot, a 5-cup coffee pot, which I am ecstatic for, because those like teeny tiny little like one serve ones are a Keurig. Gross. So I was able to drink my Maxwell House coffee on the days I didn't go to the gym. When the days I did go to the gym, I treated myself to some coffee at it's a local coffee shop on base called Red Tail, which, okay, fun fact that I learned, Red Tail comes from the Tuskegee Airmen. They rode in these planes and the tails were painted red. Fun fact. Okay, so this room also has a full fridge and freezer, which again I was happy about, because with the help of my husband I was able to get Walmart delivery because I don't have a car and we're off base. Okay, he ordered me a whole bunch of food, so I had all kinds of frozen veggies and steamer meals and fish. I'm a fishy kind of person, so I had a whole bunch of like salmon and tuna steaks and all kinds of yumminess. And then I got my window open. People are packing for tomorrow because tomorrow is graduation. If you can't tell, kind of excited because I'm a paralegal now, guys. I'm a paralegal in the Air Force, and I'm just so happy that it's done and over with, because as you can imagine, the stress that I've been under, plus, you know, like, life doesn't stop when you're doing Air Forcey things. So I'm glad it's over, and I'm going home, and then I'm gonna go to my new home because I won't be staying at my current home. Okay, anyway, that's a whole bunch of rambling to say that I am very excited. Oh yeah, so also experiencing my first hurricane, so that's kind of cool. It hasn't quite hit us yet here in Montgomery, Alabama. It should hit us pretty soon, like either tonight or like first thing in the morning. So tomorrow is gonna be interesting, going to graduation in my blues in hurricane rain, but it'll be okay. This is Hurricane Helene. Yes, Helene. Today, oh, did I say today is Thursday the 26th of September, and my ring just closed. Okay, now on to stitching, now that I've rambled for 4 minutes. Couple of things. So Patriot Day, aka 9/11, it was 9/11 a couple of weeks ago, so I didn't pack a whole lot of stitching. Like, I packed just enough to get me through, and I actually calculated pretty accurately. Like, I only have, like, I have one stitch that I'm gonna be starting for my travel home, which, by the way, you will not be seeing this video until after I'm back home, because OPSEC, guys. Operational awareness, operational security is actually what OPSEC stands for, by the way. It's just like, even if you're not military, it's just not safe to tell people about your travel plans until after the fact. Like, I know that's like a big thing on social media, like tell all the details, but it's actually not safe, guys. Okay, anyway, so on 9/11 I watched, it's a documentary that the History Channel has every year. It's like 9/11 through my eyes or something like that. Well, the historians gathered up a whole bunch of home video and they compiled it into a really, really interesting documentary. I would really like to buy it because I know eventually, judging by like, you know, how Pearl Harbor days kind of like gone by the wayside, I have a feeling that that's going to happen to 9/11 because there's already people, like younger people that are in the military that don't really understand the impact of 9/11 because they were either not born or they were little babies and just didn't live through it. Anyway, so I wanted to do something while I was watching the documentary that was a little bit more impactful than like Star Trek or Power Rangers or anything else that I had with me. So the 1776 I did back in July when Joanne, the eclectic stitcher, also on FlossTube and Instagram, she did a birthday sale. It was hashtag red, white, and blue B-Day sale. And I think it's still going on actually. But so I did the 1776 for her birthday. And then I added 1941 for Pearl Harbor and 2001 for 9/11. This is 14 count Ada. This is all DMC. I don't remember the numbers, but if you're interested, let me know and I will put it, I'll respond to your comment. Yeah. And that's 2 strands over 1. Then I did a stitch along with Yarn Ghouls, also Instagram, and they don't have a FlossTube because they are knitters and I think also crocheters, but I know for sure knitters. They're I think in the knitting world it's called podcast. Their podcast is pretty interesting because they talk about supernatural things, like one time they talked about like the Mothman and Bigfoot and skinwalkers, and they recently found a story about a murderer, a female murderer that was also a prolific knitter, and so they did like a little thing. Well, anyway, they are doing a sale, okay, and they opened it up to all different kinds of crafters, and it's supposed to be more Halloweeny, but I don't have a Halloweeny one with me, so they said that I could do like whatever I thought kind of fit, and this is what I thought kind of fit. It's Star Trek. So this is a start and finish, I think. I don't think I've showed this before. This is a 14 count Ada DMC floss called for. This pattern was from Lunar Fox Stitches over on Instagram, and I really like it. So I can't remember the actual title of this pattern, but do you get it? It's a ship in a bottle. Do you get it? Okay. But I thought it was super cute and it was really addictive. Like this one I had a hard time putting down. The stitch along or craft along for Yarn Ghouls is still going on. It started on the Friday, the 13th of September, and it's going on until the 18th of October, I think. So if I get back and I'm able to kit up a Halloween something, then I may rejoin with a new project. But I'm not going to commit to that because I gotta keep my stress down, because moving across country is stressful enough. Okay, then my next project, I finished the Pink Power Ranger. So I started this, I can't remember exactly when I started it. I know it was either I think it was right before class started. And I worked on this all throughout class. So obviously not like during class, but like whenever we would finish up a test or a project and we were just waiting around in the hallways or the break room for things to get graded, I would stitch on this. And I put in the last stitch today, the last day of class. So this is my paralegal cross stitch piece. This is 14 count Ada, called, well, no, just kidding, this is not called for. Excuse me. So everything is called for except for the pink. The called for was like a almost like a reddish, like rust color. I don't understand where that number came from, except for maybe it was like an old DMC and then like the color batch changed. I don't really know. But I changed it for, I think it was 907. And it's just this really pretty pink color. So cute. Okay, this is 2 strands over 1 box. And my initials and date, so those colors on all the projects have been just extremely random. It's just whatever I have left over, that's what I'm using. Then I worked on my youngest daughter's stocking. So this fabric is Once Upon a Time by Grace Notes, 14 count Ada. And I chose Ada for all the stockings because it just seems to be sturdier and it's what it's called for. And I also wanted it to be a little bit more like standard stocking size because I do plan on using them as like actual stockings, not just decorations, because you know, I've gone into detail about this, but with us moving around a lot, we don't always have a tree, but we always have our stockings. So I want to make sure they're actually usable. So I did change up the purple that was already there, and then what I did, that's a little bit better. Okay, so name was already there and the snowflakes were there, and I can't remember where I was on the cats. As you can probably tell, these are the Aristocat kittens, and Marie's looking kind of scary because she's missing an eyeball, but I am working on the outlines. So you got Marie, and then, man, I was gonna look that up, the little brown kitten, and then Tulu down here. Yeah, I think it's gonna look super cute. And there's supposed to be like a snow bake down here, and then there's supposed to be trees up here, but with this fabric, I don't think that that's necessary because I think this blue is gonna simulate that snow. And I think the trees are just simply unnecessary. So, and there's also going to be ornaments down here too, like down on the snow. So I'm taking my time with this one because I'm gonna make some modifications to it because I'm not gonna add the snow down here. And it is 2 strands over 1 box, so 2 over 1. And I had something else I was gonna say and I totally forgot. I hate when that happens, when I'm like literally talking and I forget what I was saying. Does that ever happen to you guys? Anyway, moving on. So yeah, I think it's gonna look super cute. Okay, so that is it. I have wrapped up just about all my projects, literally the stocking, and then I'm getting ready to start a little Disney rabbit, just like a little mini that I'm gonna take on the airplane with me. And there's a good chance that I'll finish that one by the time you see me next, because I think that one's gonna be a pretty quick stitch. And I think that's it, actually. Those are the only 2 projects out of everything I brought. Those are the only 2 that I did not start or finish. Look at me planning accordingly. Okay, so I think that is it. I am gonna get off here so I can pack. I got my laundry down in the washing machine, so I gotta go switch it over. And I gotta get my blues ready for tomorrow, and yeah. Oh, and I gotta make sure everything's charged. Yes, definitely, especially my headphones, because I have, I mean, I've always been into audiobooks, but I've like really gotten into audiobooks just because I like my hands to be busy, and so like especially here it's hard for me to concentrate, especially since I've been just so mentally fatigued after the day. It's easier and I obtain absorb more if it's read to me. So I've been working my way through Stephen King's works, and I am reading The Outsider right now, which is a spin-off of the Mr. Mercedes trilogy, which is like I wouldn't really call it murder mystery, but it's not really a detective novel, but it's somewhere in the middle. Like, it's not like a typical Stephen King book. And before that, I read Cujo, and I read Christine and Salem's Lot. Oh, I could go on and on. I printed off the list and of just the novels I've read. Okay, unpopular opinion, guys. I have read multiple Stephen King short stories, and I am just not a fan. Like, the novellas are pretty good, and the novels are pretty good, but the short stories are garbage. So I gave up on those. Like, I just not. So I went to Stephen King's website and I printed off his list of just the novels and the novellas, which is actually not a whole lot. I think I didn't actually like count it up, but like just eyeballing it, it looks to be like maybe 40, which, you know, you read a couple of novels a month, and that's only like a year's worth of books. Oh well, I'm still gonna enjoy it while it lasts, and if I like anything good enough to reread, I will reread it. Anyway, okay, now I am really, this stuff smells so good, by the way. So good. It's like spicy vanilla. Okay, now I am really done rambling. Okay, I don't know when I will see you guys or talk to you guys again. It'll definitely be late October, if not early November. So if you don't hear from me in a while, especially over on Instagram, then reach out. Otherwise, don't worry, I'll be back. Just might be a minute because I got a lot of things going on. All right, well, you guys probably don't care. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna tell you anyway. So here at Maxwell Air Force Base, there is this running track and it's inside of an old hangar, okay? So you got like the gym, which is like across the parking lot, and another old hangar that they reverted in it. It's like a legit gym. Then you got the hangar across the way, and that one, it's not insulated, it's not ventilated, but it's got a really nice track inside, and that thing is so cushiony. I loved running on that sucker. The only downside is that there was no alternating days for the direction you were running, so that kind of wore on my legs a little bit after a couple of weeks, but all in all, I still like the track. And then like right in the middle was like a CrossFit area and stuff. I have pictures over on Instagram, so if you're into running and you just want to take a gander, then go over there and take a gander. Okay, yeah, I'm just super excited. Like, I still have quite a bit of work ahead of me, but I can finally see the light at the end of the tunnel, because at least a big chunk is done. Now I can go on to the next big chunk. And then after that big chunk, then real life will begin. Okay. That is seriously everything now. So I will talk to you either late October or early November. All right, well, TTFN, ta-ta for now.